it was Space Jam night.
Okay.
It was Space Jam night. So lately, I'll say this: the Pelicans been doing a good job of like they theme nights and stuff. Like they had the
Hmm.
Barbie night, had a good turnout. They gave away the chains, and like yesterday they had it was Space Jam night, so they gave away like some really nice hats and whatnot. So shout out to them for that, man. The stuff they've been giving away was dope. So they had a really good crowd. And then they played well most of the game.
Right.
So people was engaged. It was a nice atmosphere, bro. Until the fourth quarter, obviously, when it was winning time.
So let me ask you something. This based on you being in the building and being able to really have eyes on, the in game adjustments. What did you think of the rotations in the fourth quarter? Like going away from Eve Misi and Carlo and
But
having Herb in the game with 5 fouls.
bro, listen, I ain't gonna lie. When you at the game watching the game,
Hmm.
you like it's different from watching it on TV, for example, because like
Right.
you realize that Herb got 5 fouls and he's playing well and stuff, but like how the fourth quarter was flowing initially, or how the game was going, they was damn near pulling away. And when you watching the game live, it's kind of like they almost made every play and just didn't. And then before you know it, it was like, okay, for example, the most of the second half, like Harden had no buckets until he just decided to turn it on.
Right.
So you just kind of like,
The
oh,
Spider had a pretty inefficient game as well.
bro, it's like in the first half, I was like, bro, Herb Jones, me, you
He
know
was
how
he
hard
was
we've been.
playing like a he was playing like a shutdown corner. I
Yes,
would say in that first quarter, first half.
yes, bro, at the half, I said, bro, I was very impressed with Herb defensively the
Yeah.
first half of the game.
Four
So
threes.
like,
What was he? 4 for 10 or something like that.
4 for 10 or 4 for 11 or something like that. I'm like, oh, I don't like him shooting this much, but fuck it. Like, we need you to get the volume up, shoot them. Like, you need somebody to shoot them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it just so the game felt like when you in the building watching it, it felt like nothing really felt out of place until. And again, bro, like at the Carlo 360, you like we about to
Hmm.
beat the fuck out these people, like,
Right.
and then James Harden just was like, no, and then Mitchell was like, no, and then at that point you start being like, okay, I'm not really. We like you probably need to get Z back on the floor,
Right.
and then it's kind of like,
It's like 8 points now.
yeah, like
Yeah.
bro, as they start cutting into it, you like, why is Zion sat down, or like why is Z not on the floor? And then you see Herb Garden, and then this the thing that made like when you watching the game live as opposed to like watching it on TV,
Hmm.
like you realize that they're kind like no matter if Herb on somebody or not, bro, they just running the pick and roll and you automatically switch every time,
Right.
and
So it doesn't
then
really matter. Right.
it don't really matter if you're on the floor. So it's kind of like, and they killing you at the rim. Why are you playing? Like that's when you start being like, forget why Herb on the court or not, because it don't matter because they run the screen, you automatically switch it, and then they just attack whoever the switch is. You know what I
Right.
mean? So and early in the game you had the rim protection. So now it's like this small ass lineup ain't gonna work.
The thing
And
that I'm sorry. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, it just and then just kind of like once great players get it going, bro. It just you felt the collapse happening, like you felt the collapse happening. So it was just a matter of time.
The thing that bothered me in close, like at the close, was even with the start of the game, because I don't think the first quarter went well either. Like in my opinion, I thought Schroeder and Harden, of course, like I said before, I think Herb did a really good job on Harden. I think Mitchell was inefficient as well, and Schroeder just never really got it going. But this is one of the few games that the Pelicans would have had the size advantage because Jared Allen's been out. And I tweeted this before the game. I say, yo, the Pelicans can win tonight. Jared Allen not playing, and their defense been bad. Like the Cavs defense been bad
Oh
lately.
my
So
gosh, it was all listen. Their defense was so awful yesterday, and I've been critical of the like as much as we've been talking about like the Pelicans defense and the defense needs to get, their offense has been bad in my opinion. Like,
The Pelicans offense.
yes, the
Okay.
Pelicans offense has been bad. It's been looking better, but it still hasn't been great, in my opinion, just throughout the season. But yesterday, it was like, oh, we got some offense. And I'm immediately just to your point, I'm like, no, Donovan Mitchell not no great defender. Schroeder not no great defender. They don't have no like Evan Mobley is a good defender, but other than that, like they don't have nobody that's defending out there. You supposed to do this to this team.
The
Go ahead.
thing, the thing that really troubled me, it kind of like with that Clippers game when I did the live Clippers game, I was like, look, we're on the second night of a back to back. The Clippers resting everybody. Well, Kawhi's out, no Garland, no Mathurin. This is a dog fight. You're down in the fourth quarter. Like you've lost the lead to this team in the fourth quarter, and they already missed 13 free throws. So why? So I'm like, damn, I don't know how much more of an advantage you can have in this game. And watching them last night with the Cavs, I'm like, the Cavs missed 7 free throws, bro. They
They
missed.
tried everything,
They
bro. When
tried
you in the
everything they could
building,
to lose, dog.
bruh, they were doing everything they could to lose this game, and like especially in the fourth. And it's so frustrating in the building, dog, because the Cavs weren't great down the stretch. Like,
Nah, they wasn't especially good. It was a bunch of like
no,
possessions where neither team could score, like a bunch
no,
of them.
bruh, they just had so many multiple like. You just didn't take away, and this is, bruh, and this is where the Borrego shit make me mad because what you did throughout the game, I understand like it got you to build the lead. But at the end of the game, it's not working. It is not working, bro. Like the only people who really was scoring down the stretch was Mitchell and Harden. Bro, you gotta stop the switches. Or you gotta double one of them. You gotta make them give the ball up and let somebody else hit some shots or something down the stretch, bro. It was just constantly giving it to them. They constantly going one on one. There's no deterrent at the rim, and it's just kind of like, all right, they gonna come back and beat you, especially when your offense is struggling.
To me, the biggest sign of weakness this year, well, not necessarily a sign of weakness, but one of the biggest weaknesses, rather, to me, has been the Pelicans' perimeter defense, man. Shout out to my dog Grindhouse in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all check out Grindhouse Spaces too with the Memphis Grizzlies. He does a great job over there, man. Um, to me, one of the biggest Pelicans' weaknesses has been that perimeter defense, bro. Like this, the inability to stop dribble penetration. Even throughout the year, we say we don't have a rim defender. The defensive rebound has been struggling and what have you. But we just don't have a tendency to go with the hot lineup. And to me, Eve, Misi, and Carlo should have been in the game to close, especially when for once you have a size advantage. You not stopping dribble penetration anyway, so you might as well try to at least counter a motherfucker once they get to the rim. And I thought Eve Misi did a solid job. What Eve Misi had about 3 blocks yesterday. Carlo, he's known for making a big defensive play or two. He's been solid defending the rim. I just think they went away from the momentum play as far as, all right, look, our bigs are playing well. Our bigs are making exciting plays. If you go back to the first quarter, Eve Misa with a monstrous dunk. We already know about the Carlo 360, like, which was crazy. You understand? I think when it's winning times, the lack of sharp decision making is really troubling to me. And I think this too often, even in clutch moments, it's just like the goofiest shit be happening. It's just like the most goofy shit you ever seen in your life, like out of a movie. And you be like, how did
Bro,
this happen?
so for me, I'm sorry not to cut you
No,
off.
go
You
ahead, go ahead.
my bad. No. So the one thing that lets me know that this is will be a problem moving forward is last night was about philosophy, right? Like, and I understand it to a degree, but they believe in small players, like not small players, but like James Borrego wants to play the small lineup, right? Like you could so last night was a decision to say I am not going to play the two bigs and just make them have to make threes, or we have to listen. Because they still were struggling to score. You have to eliminate the possessions, bro. You couldn't get rebounds. That's how they really was killing you. Evan Mobley was the biggest player on the court down the stretch. And anytime they wanted something easy, they would go to him, right? And or he would just keep players alive, or you just gotta completely shade your defense a certain type of way because he the biggest person out there. You trying to guard him with who? Like it don't even matter who out. Trey can't guard him. Z can't guard from a size perspective is what I'm saying. So when Harden them are doing whatever it is they're trying to do, it they're trying to get to the rim. First off, Harden's a great player. Donovan Mitchell's a great player. Like respectfully, we don't have nobody on that level anyway. Especially when they not playing like their best, like their absolute best. So like if you're not playing your best and they starting to turn it on, you're not doubling. You're not throwing out multiple bodies at the rim to deter them. Like how do you plan on like exactly what is the goal? And even if you was gonna say, okay, like we gonna go with the offense, like the best offensive lineup, it's kind of like nobody really was playing great offensively. And as a associate offensive coach, I'm so sick of them with this fucking ISO ball at the end of the game, bro. Like you are not a great isolation team. You have to continue to move the ball. That's how you get your leads. That's how you get your advantages. Sure enough, end of the game, I don't know if they think they got Luka Doncic out there who just gonna kill somebody and then create. That's not the way it go. And then you end up seeing got Zion driving with three people looking at him. You know what I mean? Can't kick. And it's that's why I'm firing Borrego, bro. For
I
all of the shit that's positive, I can't do it.
I think one of the like I watched the Cavaliers stream, and I'm gonna pass the mic, and I'm pass it to Grindhouse. I watched the Cavaliers stream last night just to kind of like to get a different perspective. And they was watching the game going into the second half. They was like, "Well, Herb Jones hit 4 threes, but they're content with leaving them open." And it's like, bruh, you have to. It's frustrating because it's not Herb's fault at this point. It's a philosophy, like you spoke about before. He gonna have if he made four in the first half, and mind you, the first three he took was an air ball, but he made four in the first half. He was 4 for 10, right? They comfortable with letting you go 8 for 20. Like they like, all right, that's what you're gonna have to do. If you're gonna hit eight of them bitches, we just meant to lose. Like the opposing team is comfortable with that. And at the end of the game, it's like, all right, it's not disrespect to her, but it's like you're not really stopping Harden and Donovan Mitchell when it's winning time. And rebounding isn't one of Herb's strengths. Since you're not stopping anyone along the perimeter anyway, wouldn't you want to just put some rebounding out there? Spider getting to the rim at will. He getting and ones, and he was acting a fool. And maybe if you don't want to put Eve Misi out there, maybe put Carlo out there. You know what I'm saying? To stretch the court a little bit, give Zion outlet playing with an injured hand. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think Trey played well yesterday either. Trey always have issues with Evan Mobley, though. I don't think he played well either. And to me, it was just again you snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. But Mike, and we gonna close on this game because I really wanted to get to my dog Grindhouse also, who also had experience with a interim coach, ultimately becoming their head coach in Memphis. But Mike, what's up with your homie? What you think of last night's game, brother?
Oh, what's up with y'all, fellas?
Doing good,
Man,
brother.
last night game just kind of showed me that basically the front office and James Borrego, while the philosophies don't mesh, I believe man the Cavaliers had 62 rebounds. Man, and if y'all go
Jesus
back and think
Christ.
about it, yeah, they had 62 rebounds, and when they went on that 12-0 run. The 13 on running the what was that, the full quarter? Man, they got nine of the points off offensive rebounds. Like, bro, like last night it was concerning. I've seen like Sam, like what's his name, Sam Merrill. Man, he was out there like bodying Trey up for rebounds. I'm like, oh no, man. And that's like why I say the philosophies don't mesh. The Pelicans, first off, like as a team, even with the bigs, you're not a good rebounding team. So you never can afford at all times. You have to have a big or two on the court at all times because you just can't rebound. I mean, that's just one of the weaknesses of the team. You know, like here or there, you have some guys with some great rebounding games, but you know, it just showed you a lot. And like you said, Chaz, man, last night Herb Jones had more 3-point attempts than Trey Murphy had shot attempts. Man, just like Herb was 4 for 11, and like Trey had 10 shot attempts the whole game. So that shows me what that shows me is that's just not what Z is with Trey too. Is like the coaching staff just gives everybody the green light. Like, hey, whoever has the ball, go get it. I'm just not a fan of that type of ball. And the question on Borrego, I really don't believe he's earned a head coaching job. I believe it's just time, man, to clean out house and man, bringing your own people, your own staff, and build.
Man, you're preaching to the choir, Mike. I ain't gonna lie to you because I think one of the issues people not really realizing is that from what I've been told historically, Borrego is not like he doesn't dislike his fellow assistant coaches. Like he doesn't have a problem. Like he seems to think those guys are pretty good. So for people saying like, well, he needs his own staff, it's like, well, I what makes you think that he's going to replace this staff? Like what makes you think that there's going to be wholesale changes to the staff or from a philosophy standpoint? And for the people who kind of are fan of keeping this particular team together, be it like DeJounte Murray, Herb Jones, etc., I think they're also missing. You don't have a ton of avenues to add talent unless you start trading those guys. Like you don't have, and this is a weak free agent class. So you can't be like, well, I'm just going to sign the best free agent possible. It's a weak class. So you have to make trades if you want to get better. But Grindhouse, brother, what's happening with you, man? Look, you went through the interim coach thing. The guy ultimately became your head coach. What do you think of guys who, didn't necessarily show enough as interims and seizing the mantle as head coaches? Grindhouse.
What it do, man? I think
What
it's
it
a
do,
terrible
brother?
thing. I think it's a terrible, terrible thing to do. Yeah, because like I mean, I'm still a believer of the Sam Cassells of the world. I think a Jerry Stackhouse would be a really good pickup for you all. Like these are guys that I would have loved for the Grizzlies as well to go out there and get, or at least you know go some type of searching and go do it. So yeah, no, I'm not. I don't think I would ever fully be on the whole. I'm just gonna hire the interim, but more times than not, they became the interim, or they was already brought here, even if they were just on staff. They were already brought there just in case. So I mean, that's what happened with us. Like the guy was Tomas Isola was on Taylor Jenkins' staff last season, and Taylor
Mm.
Jenkins didn't bring him in. You know what I'm saying? Like the front office and
Uh,
ownership brought him in, and then they made the decision during the season to. So he was. We already kind of knew he was gonna be the guy, but it was just the fact that they did no other search. But they paid 10 million for him to come over last season, just as the
Jesus.
assistant. So the the writing was on the wall, you know.
So, Grimes, let me ask you this: do you think, or do you find it? Well, it seems like as you explained in your case, it made a lot of sense because the writing was on the wall for them replacing Taylor Jenkins, especially when you paying an assistant that amount of money. That's championship coach salary right there. So
Oh, I
clearly,
know.
yeah, clearly they was looking to replace him, right? But do
Yeah, they
you
had to
think
do it. Was a buyout thing they had to do. So
would you consider that to be a real coaching search? Because one of the issues I have,
hell no, I don't.
okay, so
I
you feel
mean,
like they kind of
like
like
I
mailed it in, short search. This is our guy, no
well,
process.
like I said, I think it was pre-planned.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe Borrego was. I know Borrego has been there what 2 years now.
This is his third year. He was brought in by the previous
That's David
president.
Griffin's guy. He was
Yeah,
David.
Oh, okay.
He's David Griffin's version of the guy y'all got.
yeah.
I got you.
Well,
I know about Borrego. I mean, I knew when he was with Charlotte, so
yeah, he
know
like
a little bit about it.
the Sheen version of y'all guy.
But yeah, I mean, for you all, just like us, really, I mean, I believe in the Sam Cassell's, and Like I know Jerry Stackhouse' record at Vanderbilt wasn't that great, man, but I actually watched Vanderbilt a little bit back then, and it was only the talent. It was never like his play. He actually got some great aces and O's and shit, especially like side out of bounds and baseline out of bounds and things like. But he used to get some guys some open ass shots, bro. Like
That
so, yeah. I love Stackhouse.
I've actually been told that's one of the names in the hat. I've actually been told that him along with Mosley. Of course, we heard about Darvin Ham and Kevin Ollie. And one thing people got to realize, because if you remember, you kind of saw that the last episode I did, but the people who were like harping on the Darvin Hams or they're harping on the Kevin Ollies, there's an agenda behind that. Because if you've been told two names, there's like five fucking names, five potential head coaching candidates that you haven't even heard about yet. Like for as much as I mean,
Right.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's just typically how it goes. You don't know
Yeah,
who they really
it's
interviewing.
sometimes you got to hear from outside perspectives and things like that. Because if y'all are like us, like it's only a select few that's really talking Pelicans, right?
Right.
For the most part. So yeah, you're only gonna hear for the most part about two or three names. It's probably coming from the inside, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But yeah, if you listen to other outside perspectives, you at least hear some other names that at least sound interesting. Like
Right.
I said, I bring up Stackhouse too in case nobody knows or doesn't pay attention. Like if you ever hear Draymond yelling over on the bench, not like,
Mm-hmm.
not like at a coach but like, yeah, yeah, like hyping shit up and stuff,
Right.
he'll be saying, yeah, stack. Like he be like, cause he feel him, right? Like they got that type of relationship with each other. So and that's like people can say whatever too about Draymond, man, nigga a winner. And he gonna know other dogs around him.
Bro,
So
and you hit the nail on the head, Grindhouse, because people speak about the Borrego's relationship with the players. And my opinion, that was only relevant when Willie Green was still here, right? Now that Willie Green is gone, if you're still losing, I don't really give a fuck who you like or what's your relationship with the coach. You haven't proven,
exactly.
right? You haven't proven that I should take your opinion into consideration. You don't,
Especially young teams like us. Like
right,
people love Taylor Jenkins, right? And thought he was and Taylor Jenkins might not be too bad for y'all either. At least he gets you. I will say Taylor Jenkins is somebody that can at least get you to the playoffs.
right.
It ain't gonna be much more than that. But yeah.
And,
Man, not to just kind of interrupt, but
nah, go ahead,
I
Al.
wasn't a fan. I'm just saying he mentioned Taylor for us. Like I wasn't a fan of hiring Taylor Jenkins initially, but when you think about Memphis in the Taylor Jenkins era, like he would be almost a legend in the Pelicans space if you were to have a guy with that exact same art, like make the play in, just be a two seed. Just being a two seed, winning around, beating Ant in the playoff series. Like if you was able to have some of that stuff, like as a Pelican, like you take Taylor Jenkins in the 3 4 years or whatever stability and culture he built, you take that any day. I think if you were a Pelican.
And also,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, go ahead,
I
Grindhouse.
mean, he
My bad.
wasn't. No, I was just saying, like, I mean, we got lower on him, and he's kind of he's not gonna bring in offense. He'll bring the defense, though. I will say, his defense was always, top 10, top five. Um, but yeah, it's just he's just not that elevator though, as far as getting you over the hump. But he's like I said, I do believe he could take a lot of teams at least to playing playoff contention.
And
I thought Charlotte should have hired him, but they had already had Charles Lee lined up, and
yeah,
not a bad pickup.
yeah, Charles Lee was supposed to be a Pelican coach, man. Last second, it went bad for us, but it was supposed to be Charles Lee, man, instead of Willie Green. It's just a damn shame. We just got the worst luck ever. But to Alvin's point,
But I do appreciate Borrego, man.
yeah,
I do, or whatever y'all got doing winning because it's helping us with our draft position. So appreciate that.
yeah, yeah. I kind of wish. that y'all stop playing these games and just go ahead and trade Ja Morant to the Pelicans, brother. I made you some great offers throughout this season, Grindhouse. I think y'all are Herb Jones away, brother. And y'all just, for whatever reason, man, y'all don't want to lean into y'all destiny, and just go ahead and go.
Man, stop it.
Not matter of
Stop
fact,
it.
while we got you, bro, what do y'all think about Ja? Like, I know like, do y'all are y'all under the assumption and the belief that Ja is
So
gone this summer?
I can't speak for everybody with the job thing. It's messy. I mean, it's a messy situation even within. But for me personally, I'm on the boat of more waiting until next trade deadline, and
Oh
because
wow.
I believe his contract is coming up and stuff like that. He's going to be forced to play, like
Hmm.
damn near, like. But I don't think he's sitting out just to be sitting out either. Like the Grizzlies be on bullshit
You think
when it comes to injuries.
so?
So
So you think Ja starts the season with the Grizzlies?
yes, because
Ooh.
he hasn't played enough to rise his trade stock in a way. And the Grizzlies shouldn't just trade him for bullshit. Like that's just my opinion. Um, so you let him play here in a contract, pretty much a contract type of season. You play him all the way up to the trade deadline, and hope if the value is there, then you trade him. I mean, that's kind of how I feel. I don't really necessarily want to go that route, but if that's the route that they end up going, that's the smartest route in my opinion because I don't think you got the value even this summer. The only way I think the value kind of goes up if the Timberwolves really get desperate enough after, like, if they get beat in the first round or something, uh, or the Kings get like a really bad, like a eighth pick, seventh, eighth pick or something. They're out of the range of the elites, and they're just like, fuck it, like we'll just do whatever we got to do for job. That's kind of really only two ways I kind of see his stock going up.
So
So basically, a playoff team or the Bucks somehow.
So do you? And I'm sorry. Last question for you, Grindhouse. Do you see Memphis building around Ja as being off the table at this point?
On the team, if he was to stay, no, it wouldn't be a build around Josh situation.
Mm,
It would be more like a build around Edie, try to keep him healthy. I'm not a build around Cedric Coward guy. Like I'm cool with Cedric Coward,
right.
like but I'm not a include him to a build around guy. So, um, but it probably hopefully whatever draft pick if we do end up in a decent position. Like the draft pick is gonna mean a lot. I think
Ooh. Cause
our draft spot.
you land in the top two, top three. I mean, that's really the box office guy right there that could justify moving off of a guy like Ja Morant, probably for a lesser return, right?
Sort of. So for me, I'm a Boozer guy. I want Boozer in the top. Like I want him the most in the whole draft. Um, but I could, you still got to have a point guard. Um, but yeah, it probably does. For them, it'll make it easier because they'll look at it like shit. We'll just ride with Ty Jerome and Scottie Pippen Jr. or whoever, Walter Clayton. I'm a huge Florida Gator guy, so I thought Walter Clayton, he's my guy, but it ain't looking too hot. But it's really the situation more than him, in my opinion. But he ain't got a whole bunch of time to prove nothing. He already 23, 24. You ain't got a bunch of time, bro. So,
Yeah, I understand, man. Y'all needed Dejounte Murray, man, to kind of thread the needle in the intermediate. But yo,
man, listen, make too much money, bro. If his contract wasn't so long, and yeah,
yeah, I feel you. I feel you, man. Appreciate you, Grimes, my dog. Yo, Grimes, tell the people where they can find you, brother.
just through here, man. I ain't been doing the post games as much lately because the season and shit.
I got
But we do be
it.
doing drafts and stuff. Just yeah, just follow this page right here, and I pop up spaces mainly around the Grizzlies. post game. So yeah, that's it.
Yes, indeed, man. My dog Grindhouse, man. Grindhouse got the best space out there for sure, for sure. Make sure y'all tap in with the homie, man. Appreciate you, big dog. Yo, so Alvin at the dip, man. But anybody interested in commenting on whether they should keep Borrego? I see my dog Jack and Margella in the building. We be rapping about the Borrego thing quite a bit. But anybody interested in giving their perspective on what the Pelicans should do with Coach Borrego moving forward? Don't be afraid to send a request and give your POV. And in my position, man, I feel like they should move on just because Borrego isn't a brand new coach trying to find his way through the league. He's been a head coach twice before, if I'm not mistaken, once in Orlando at the interim, and in Charlotte for several years, and he's only had one season above.
Am I good to speak?
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Jacket. What up, with your homie? You can hear me, Jacket? Can you hear me,
I can't hear none.
Jacket? Can you hear me? Ah, shit. Can y'all hear me? Trey, can you hear me? Devin Poser, can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me.
Can you hear me in this on the chat? Huh? But I can't hear nobody else though. It's the weird thing.
Ah, shit. Hold up.
I'm about to leave and come back.
Okay. Bet.
Can you hear me in this on the chat?
All right. But okay, he might have to come back. But yeah, so my thing with Borrego is again, roughly 5 seasons as a head coach. There's one season above 500, if I'm not mistaken. This will be another year where he doesn't finish above 500, and I think it's a mistake to presume that if he was here, if he had a training camp, if he had his own staff, if DeJounte Murray was here, I think it's a mistake to presume that he would have finished the season above 500 because there's just no real history of success there, firstly. Secondly, he's been a part of the staff for all these years. So him as a part of the staff for all these years, he didn't, he didn't join a situation to where it was irreversible, right? He wasn't 40 games into the season. I think Willie Green coached 12 games. James Borrego had 70 games. 70 games. And the bar was to be a play-in team. It wasn't to be a top 6 seed. It wasn't to be top 4. The bar was to be a play-in team. And if you're one of the people that feel like, oh wow, what Borrego's done with this roster is great. What Borrego's done with this team is awesome. It's like, all right, why he couldn't do it earlier? Like, or okay, if DeJounte was here, everything would have been better. It's like, okay, but why does it have to be a perfect situation? You got teams like the Memphis Grizzlies that's dealing with far more injuries throughout the season, and they had a better record up until 2 days ago. So I just think the excuses are like out of control. Go ahead, Jagged. We can hear you, homie.
All right, cool. Man, why do they be running the offense through Sadiq Bey like that, man? Like it's truly baffling. I mean, I respect dude, he plays hard and stuff like that, but it truly blows my mind that like the Pelicans would get in a tight situation and resort to Sadiq Bey ball. Like it's mind blowing. Like all these games I see Zion shooting like 8 times, 11 times, 12 times. What is the point? What's their goal with Zion? What's the point of him having him on the roster if he's going to take 12 to 13 shots a game and play these limited, like, what are they trying to build his trade value? In my opinion, I feel like treating him like a role player doesn't help his trade value. If you're trying to trade him in the future, I would feel like you would want to extract as much value as you can right now, since you definitely ain't playing for no pick or anything like that. I don't understand the point of turning him into a just a whatever guy. I don't understand how there's like not a set hierarchy. And it's not just a Borrego thing. This is happening with Willie Green, but how is there not a hierarchy as far as like who the offense run through? Because like I know that little like hoop by committee stuff is cool and all. That shit might work in the first 3 quarters or something like that. But obviously, if you've seen whenever they play a good team, that shit goes out it doesn't work. So, and it looks like they don't know who they're going to. You'll have Fears doing turnaround jumpers. You'll have Queens doing stuff. I I don't know. Like I feel like they're just freestyling out there. I feel like they've been freestyling for years out there. But even with Borrego, nothing's really changed. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing. They don't know how to throw lobs. They don't know how to do entry passes. I- What is Borrego teaching them? What's being implemented? What's the goal here? I don't. I feel like everything is just a muck, and I don't know. How do y'all feel?
Well, I mean, it's hard for me to disagree with anything you say truthfully because um, I can't really counter any of your points. I was one of the people who kind of felt like I didn't necessarily see an improvement from Willie Green to Borrego. I think the team just got healthier, and I think the rookies, started playing a little bit better. I think Fear started playing better. I thought Queen, he had a stretch of games where he was playing really well. Kind of came back down to earth since then. As far as as far as Sadiq Bey, I think Sadiq Bey has been, he's been exemplary this season. I do think it's one of those situations to where you're overextending a guy. You're overextending a guy, and it's not like what you're doing is benefiting you at an alarming rate. It's not like Sadiq Bey is wildly efficient in the post. A lot of times Sadiq Bey might go the first 3 quarters having a terrible game, and in the fourth quarter he'll come alive and he'll give you some big buckets. But
Because he'll get enough shots
yeah,
up.
and Sadiq Bey is also a very high volume guy. Like Sadiq Bey is shooting 18 shots a game, 19 shots a game, sometimes 20 shots a game, and it's like
But like, what other franchise could Sadiq Bey come in off an injury like that and just
none that
take control of? Like, who else would that happen for?
none that I can think of. To me, is one of the issues with that's been during the Zion tenure, especially like with the Willie Green thing. And I consider Borrego an extension of the Willie Green tenure because he was here, the last 3 years. So if you've always struggled with these same hierarchy issues, and this year in particular, Zion is having his lowest usage ever, it's like, okay, what are we doing here? Like you keep saying, what's the goal here? Is the goal is Zion, the guy, or is he just going to be another a tool in your toolbox? Because if that's the case, then we got to start thinking a bit more long term about how we build this team out. If Zion, he could be the best player, but he can't. If Zion's the best player, he can't have the lowest usage. Those two things, just
Makes no
yeah,
sense.
it makes no sense because ultimately there's been games like the Clippers game. I don't think Zion had a shot attempt until the second quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was like with like 7 minutes left in the second quarter, he finally gets a shot up, and I'm just dumbfounded. But like, no other team does that to their best player. I don't understand it.
And that's really like I do,
Even Cooper Flag's getting up. Like, even if the shots are trash and he's just breaking them, like he's getting them up.
bro.
Like you don't.
If there was a game where Dennis Schroeder was the best player on the team, Dennis Schroeder is getting like 20 shots. Like you know what I'm saying? To me, that's really the biggest counter argument I have when people say like, yo, Zion got to demand the ball, boy. And I'm like, well, I don't really see, like, I watch a lot of basketball. I don't see a ton of instances where teams' best players are like demonstrably demanding the basketball. I think it's just common sense. Like, yo, I need to find Jalen Brown. I need to find Luka Doncic. I need to find
Jokic,
Jokic.
all these.
I need to find Jamal Murray. I need to find these guys because these are the best player, like the best players on the team. I don't think it's a situation to where it's like, yo, I need to ask for the basketball every single time because, again, what are we doing here? Like, who do you think you are to take that shot in that
Like
situation?
why is the ball finding Herb so often? Like, and not even just in a spot up corner situation. Like they'll just be giving him the ball all the time. Like he could just dribble around and stuff. I'm like, why are we using Herb like this? Like he's not even this type of player. Like this don't even make no sense.
I think a lot of times the Pelicans find themselves in a tough spot in between giving with the taking what the defense is giving you with the Herb Jones opportunities and guys going rogue. I think Herb goes rogue quite a bit. I think Fears goes rogue. And for example, last night, right, there was a situation where I think Zion had I think he had drew 2 free throws and he had a bucket on the following possession. And the next possession, he doesn't touch the ball. Possession after that, he comes out of the game. I'm like, what? So what's the point here? Like, what's the point? It's two or three. It's two or three buckets in a row. Looks like he's finding some rhythm. Jared Allen is not in the game. This is, I guess, if you really going for the plan, or if the goal is to win 30 plus games, wouldn't you want to ride the hot hand in that situation, Paul? Or like, why would you want to take him out the game in this situation? You got what, 2 days off before you play your next game versus the Knicks.
And wouldn't Zion having a game like that boost his value to, like, I just don't, it feels like the common sense things that we're saying would lead to better outcomes than what they're getting. And I don't really quite understand
It's,
why they're doing this to themselves. Like, it's like Herb can't, Zion to be open on a post up or a fast break or something like that, he can't find them. And I'm mind blown. Like, who else you gonna pass the ball to? You're out here with bombs.
Man, there was a couple of possessions last night. There was one in the first quarter where Zion comes baseline and DeJounte Murray misses him. But then DeJounte finds him late and Zion ends up getting fouled and going to the line. But I'm like, bro, if you find him immediately on the cut, that's an easy 2 points. I think Zion went to the line and ended up splitting at the free throw line. But it's possessions like that to where instead of 2 points, you're ending up with one. And when you're talking about a 2 3 point game, those possessions matter. Like, it's the little things that the Pelicans consistently can't get right. Turnovers on alleys. To me, we're one of the worst.
Oh, they're the worst fast break team I've
Oh
ever
man,
seen, bro.
you
Like,
took the words out of my mouth. To me, we the worst transition team on both ends of the ball that I've seen in quite some
it's
time.
a flip of the coin if they're gonna score on a fast break. You really have no
I'm
idea.
talking about it could be a 3-on-1 possession. The lanes not filled correctly. No one can pass the ball. They fumble it's terrible. And to me, that goes to coaching, and that's why I can't really excuse Borrego because I'm like, you've been a part of this process. You've been a part of grooming these guys and training these guys and teaching them fundamentals. And when I see some players who people might feel like haven't developed at a high enough rate, or some guys who seem to be regressing, it's like, well, shit. The common denominator is the players. I mean, I'm sorry, it's the coach because we've had different players here at this point.
That really.
The coach is the common denominator. Like, the coaches, Casey Hill has been here about Casey Hill been here about 5 years.
I don't think they even had this issue wasn't this exacerbated, like, as far as like the dumb hierarchy stuff. Like, there was some dumb hierarchy stuff because David Griffin started off the whole thing with like, yeah, Drew's our MVP,
Right.
and like that was already stupid. Like, that was just, I couldn't remember when I heard that on the podcast, my mind was blown, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, five, the hell is somebody talk
I mean,
about?
for
But
missing
yeah,
the
like that
nominate.
type of
Yeah.
stuff. But even with Alvin Gentry, I'm like, okay, Zion's gonna get his little 20, 23, 25 or whatever. That makes sense. And then BI, so that all that stuff is a little bit more balanced. None of this shit makes no type of sense. And the last thing I'm gonna say on this is that, like, with when they run the pick and roll with Zion and they actually get him the ball on the roll, when they actually drop it to him and give him the ball while he's rolling, I feel like he scores 100% of the time.
Yeah. It's
So
very high, especially between him and DeJounte or him and Trey.
it's like if Zion gets the ball on the road, what else who could do anything about this? So I'm like, why don't you guys, instead of having Zion parked in the dunker spot or on the corner or something like that, and Herb's out here doing, like, why don't you guys just have him set a screen and make the defense have to respect the fact that Zion's rolling, and then they just don't do it. I don't understand it. This is why I always wanted Chris Paul in New Orleans for the last like 5 years, because not because of like,
No, I
I
get
know he
it.
was older and stuff like that, but like, he's just not an idiot, and he's
Man.
just gonna have things happen a certain type of way.
Because some of the things just seem so elementary, and I think that's the entire issue. It's like, these are common sense, low hanging fruit problems that if you can just
It's
correct these, you would win a lot more games.
they would be a 50-win team if they would just do some normal things, man. Like, it's just mind blowing.
Yeah, man, I totally get what you're saying, brother. Yo,
But yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take
oh,
over like that,
nah,
man.
not
But
at all, man.
these dudes have been killing me, man. Like,
Hey, look, not at all, brother. Like, and again, we speak about the coaching staff from time to time, and it's always the same issues. Like, and I appreciate your consistency.
and they need to play Carlo more. But that's the last thing I'm gonna
Oh
say.
yeah, definitely, especially like
Like, why are you not playing Carlo in those lineups where it's like Zion and Queens and Herb? Like, what? Put
also
Carlo in so you have somebody at least in the corner that can make a shot, man. Like, what?
also, man, people kind of, and I'm a kind of, I'm a leave Borrego. I'm gonna stall him out and kind of move forward a little bit as we start projecting to the offseason and start coming to a close with the space, people kind of presume that Carlo been playing all season. And it's like, no, Carlo and Eve have not been regular rotation guys until recently. That they haven't been playing all season. And that's one of my biggest issues I had with the staff. Like you pointed out, Jacket, like dude, Carlo, he's pretty efficient from beyond the arc, athleticism off the charts, energy guy, hustle guy. Even if sometimes the matchup doesn't necessarily suit him, but you could go to a game like when we played the Lakers, right? It's like, all
Mhm.
right, you need Jackson Hayes is out there, DeAndre Ayton's out there. Those guys aren't playing phenomenal, but their size is causing the issue for you. And you're starting off slow. It's like you're getting off the plane sluggish. Once you get the 360 alley oop guy, the 3-point guy, the guy who could, run up and down the court and flush an easy dunk, the guy who got pretty solid hands, won't you put him in the game? I don't even think Carlo played versus the Lakers. And
It's just
it's ridiculous.
oh, that reminds me with the Lakers thing because people were talking about Darvin Ham and like how they don't want Darvin Ham. And this is something I talked about with my brother because we'll be watching these games. And I'm like, I've been watching these games for years, but the Lakers versus the Pelicans and the Lakers always whoop on the Pelicans. I'm like, why are y'all talking so crazy about Darvin Ham? He's thoroughly outcoached every Pelicans coach that he went up against and wiped the Pelicans off the face of the floor every single time. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not saying he's a good coach or whatever, but
Right.
Pelicans people got to sit here and keep it in perspective. He always whooped on the Pelicans. Even in that 49 win season, he coached their team smarter than what the Pelicans were
I
coached.
mean, also, and not to simplify it, but he has a better coaching record than Borrego. So,
There you go.
what are we talking about here? But appreciate you, Jackie, homie, man.
Yep.
Appreciate your insight, brother. Yo, Mike. So
Yes, sir.
we be doing the live streams, Mike. You always in there showing love, brother. Like it just feels like we talk about the same things all the time. Like, is it troubling you that it's the end of the season and we still kind of complaining about some of the same issues as far as giving up offensive rebounds, giving up dribble penetration, and and really blowing leads in the fourth quarter, because as it currently stands, the Pelicans have 19 fourth quarter blown leads, games where they led up into the
Man,
fourth
bro,
quarter
I was
and lost the game.
I believe it was like, yeah, last week we man, when we spoke, and I was like, no, it was 2 weeks ago I said it. And I was like, if the Pelicans had like just a good center that rebound, they would win a lot of these
Mm,
games. Bro, I'm telling you, like on that it was like like a lot of these games, the Pelicans not really a good defensive team.
right.
Sometimes they have good stretches where they do play good defense, bro. And it's like sometimes, and I look, their body language get down. They don't play defense consistently because, bro, they just can't rebound.
Mm.
And I'm like, bro, you giving up last night against the Cavaliers? It was 3 offensive rebounds in 1 possession. I was like, oh yeah, y'all about to lose.
It,
Like you can't, bro, you can't beat good teams without playing like a center. I get it, man, and it's like, okay, even if you do want to play small ball, y'all not even playing fast. I thought that was the reason for playing small ball.
right.
Y'all not playing fast.
And man, the thing, like, I want to give the team some credit, and I'll end on this note, man. Shout out to everybody who came to speak, Mike and Jack and Grindhouse, my dog Alvin. I'm not trying to diminish what the team has done winning these games, because I much rather you win than lose these motherfuckers, right? But at the same time, you have to zoom out. Like the old saying is, when in doubt, zoom out. Look at the Pelicans' opponents. Like the people, they will say, well, the Pelicans have a record of they're averaging 126 points at home, and it's like, okay, who are they playing? Like, if I'm playing the Wizards, if I'm playing the Jazz back to back, if I'm playing like there's some of these tanking teams that are like, I don't mean bad teams, I mean teams that are intentionally trying to lose. It's like, all right, I mean, I read it's cool. You're not playing the creme de la creme. It, to me, you don't judge yourself by how you play the worst teams in the NBA, because the standard isn't to be better than the worst. The standard is to be as good as the best. I can't judge Borrego by being, if he's better than Willie Green, even though I don't think he is, because Willie Green is a low bar. I want him to be good. I want a good coach. I don't want a motherfucker who's better than the worst. I want a good coach. That's my standard. But Trey, what's happening with your homie?
What's good,
What's
Chaz?
good,
I just
brother?
wanted to say Borrego does not deserve the job. I was at the game yesterday. It was a good game, but
What
I knew as soon as the fourth quarter happened, they was going to choke the
what was
lead.
the vibe in the arena for you as the fourth quarter started? Did you feel like people was on pins and needles?
Yeah, it was like kind of slow. It's like people like knew what's going to happen. Like as soon as like Mitchell and Harden was getting down, and the Pelicans like in that fourth quarter, like every shot was like at the buzzer. So like
Mm.
Cleveland was getting on transition, making shots, and it was just like man, like you knew it was going to happen as soon as they was missing shots.
Man, did you go to the Clippers game, Trey?
Oh no, I ain't go to that one. The Cleveland game that was actually my second game this season.
Okay. Now, based on, because I've seen you in the live stream as well, Trey. I appreciate your support, brother. So, based on the
Hmm.
games we've watched this season, do you think, like, how the Pelicans fell apart in the fourth quarter, was that something common you've seen? Do you think it was more like the Pelicans making mistakes, or you think it was something that Cleveland was forcing the Pelicans into?
I said it was more the Pelicans making mistakes, to be honest.
Mm, okay. Okay. Like you say, as far as like if shots are coming late in the clock, that's this organization and the offense not being able to create space, not being able to create good looks. I watched a couple replays on one of the offensive boards. I think the score was it might have been 1-0 shit. It might have been like 106 to
No, I think it
102.
was not. It was 95-91 when they gave like 3 offensive
Oh
rebounds.
God. This one
Hmm.
was I think DeJounte gave up this one. And I think that put Cleveland up 108, if I'm not mistaken. And then Dejounte went coast to coast, and I think the game was 106 to 108. But it's like
Yeah.
again, man, it's the small things, it's the 50-50 balls, it's the I mean, we got lucky. We won a challenge on the offensive foul that they called on Zion. If he would have made that free throw, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a 1 point game instead of well, it would have been a three. I'm sorry, yeah, it would have been a 1 point game instead of a 2 point game. But shit, it wouldn't have mattered because Donovan Mitchell got all the way to the rim and got an and one on Trey Murphy. So it's just,
Hmm.
oh my god, yeah, man. I'm just tired of this team having the same problems. I do think that the common denominator is the coaching staff, man. But Trey, anything else on your mind, brother?
I just wanted to say this. They also need to stop having bad first quarters. Like even
Yes,
against the Clippers, they was down like 15 at 18 at one point.
yes,
When they don't start a center, they get down very slow. And then it's until the second quarter when Carlos subs in, Misi subs in, they start getting the lead a little bit back.
man. Look, I think that's a great point because I don't think the Pelicans played 3 quarters of great basketball. I thought they played like 2 quarters because that first quarter was not very good. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't very good, and like you mentioned, even versus the Clippers, it took everything for you to battle back. Again, no Ben Mathurin, injured Kawhi Leonard, who didn't play on the second night, and Garland, who had just come back. And to me, it's when teams are giving you these opportunities, man. You know, you got to seize them, and you shouldn't be winning by the skin of your teeth against bad and or tanking teams. And I
Hmm.
think the Pelicans might have like maybe 2, 3 blowouts on the season, and that's
Yeah.
unfortunate, man. I just don't want people to get I don't want people to get fooled by the mirage. You still need to make talent upgrades. You still need to make a coaching upgrade. You need a wide, vast search, and I'm hoping that they do that, man. But appreciate you, Trey, man. Appreciate your support,
Thank you,
man.
bro. Thank you.
Man, shout out to everybody in the building, man. Appreciate all y'all, man. Appreciate y'all support. Hoping y'all having a good Sunday, man. Hope y'all have a good week. Oh, there go my dog L coming back in the building. What up with you, L? L, you hear me?
Yeah, bro. I was just standing on the interstate.
Oh man, 911.
It's, it's all good, though. This is the level of commitment we at.
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed, bro. So, Al, let me ask you something, bro. Because shout out to Trey. Trey gave some insight as well about this 4 quarters. What you're seeing from the 4 quarters, like again, people forget that Clippers game, and one can say Ty Lue the reason they lost that game because fuck you got Brooke Lopez in the game for you take out John Collins, you take out Isaiah Jackson, you got 49-year-old Brooke Lopez out there missing free throws. The Clippers missed 13 free throws. I believe the Cavaliers missed 7 last night, if I'm not mistaken. So if these teams are shooting at least their average from beyond the free throw line, the game probably ain't close. So and these are teams that's not 100% healthy. Like that's my issue. You in dogfights with these teams where you have a clear rest and talent advantage. That lets me know that something is missing here. So, Al, what do you take away from like these dogfights against teams where you have these advantages in the fourth quarter?
Bruh, it. So I'm not getting fooled by much of what we seeing right now because again, you have won games, right? You have won some games. But again, if you look at what your expectations were coming into the season,
Mm-hmm.
like some of these games you're supposed to win. Like you're supposed to beat the backup Clippers, even if it is on a back to back. Like Kawhi, now granted, Kawhi could be great, but you supposed to be able to beat that particular team. Like some of these games you're supposed to be able to win. Like I'm more so like, and I see you posted it a lot when you was like, this is a lot like the 49 win season where it's still flawed.
Yes.
And my thing is even though they look better, right? They might look better.
Al, you cut out. Dang. Well, we having a state of emergency spaces tonight. Al, you good? Ah, damn. I'm gonna give him 10 seconds. I know he out there in the field, man. If he can't come back, we gonna have to we gonna just wrap the space up, man. But again, I appreciate everybody's happening. See, give him a few seconds to see if he can come back. Check, check. Al, you there? All right.
Real quick,
Go
I
ahead.
think Borrego not using that challenge against the Rockets is probably that
Yeah.
probably should have been the
Yeah.
the the main point that we probably should focus on as to why he shouldn't be back.
You know what? Shout. You know I'm gonna say this. Ross used to always say this. He used to say close. He used to say blowout losses. That's a bad team. Close losses. That's a bad coach. And again, when you talk about one or two decisions here or there, a challenge call here, a challenge call there, like one challenge I'll never forget. I think it was in the first fucking quarter. First quarter versus Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. Bryce picks up a blocking foul, and Borrego rushes down, uses the challenge. This is the first quarter, mind you. On a Bryce McGowan's blocking foul, this man picks up. I mean, I'm sorry, he used the challenge, of course. There's been several instances to where like the clock has gone below 3 minutes in the fourth, so he's punted one of his timeouts. Um, Ended the game with just ended the game without using the challenge. There's so many
How do
instances.
you leave that Rockets game with the challenge in your pocket, bro? How?
Oh my
It don't
god!
make no sense, man. And hey, it's not that's just not a Borrego. What the hell is the rest of the coaching staff doing?
And it's funny with the timeout situation. A lot of times I've seen Casey Hill, who's pretty much the lead assistant at this point. I've seen him get up and run to Borrego like, yo, we got to use the timeout. We got to use the timeout. It was a victory they had. Oh God, it might have been versus San Antonio. It was a win they had the way they had. I think San Antonio had called a timeout. San Antonio called a timeout, and it was like 3:01 left on the clock, and the Pelicans had three timeouts. So if San Antonio doesn't call that timeout, the Pelicans wouldn't have had a chance to use their timeout because the Pelicans called a back-to-back timeout, and they would have forfeited the timeout again. They did that versus Charlotte. It's just incompetence. Like it's just to me, it's like, bro, you've been here before, and you got you at this point you don't have 70 games under your belt this season. You're not a rookie head coach. You're not a young head coach in the league. This is your third head coaching job, bro. Act like you got some common motherfucking sense, and that's my issue, bro. Like, come on,
Agreed.
yeah, man. But
That's it for me, man.
yeah, brother. Man, appreciate everybody again, man. Hope my dog L safe out there, man. Y'all have a good Sunday, and I think the next game is what, Tuesday. So we actually gonna have another Spaces this week, and I'm gonna be doing a live Tuesday. So make sure y'all tap in on my YouTube channel, man. At Cheddar Chaz, CHEDDACHAZ, and y'all be safe, y'all be blessed, man. Much love to y'all. Peace.